As we speak, the police, intelligence and security services are all actively engaged in intense actions in the wake of the killing of Sir David. A man, as I said at the top, remains in custody but has not been charged. One can only imagine the grief in the Amess household. The grief felt among his army of friends and colleagues is writ large across the newspapers and across the airwaves. But there is also a profound, almost forensic examination underway of the sort of country we live in. MPs from all parties have expressed their respect and affection for Sir David. But they've also been contacted by their local police forces discussing their personal security and that of their staff. The Commons Speaker, Sir Lindsay Hoyle, has a powerful article in the newspapers expressing his personal affection for David. He also says, and I quote, "Disagreements with politicians should be solved at the ballot box, not via threats, intimidation and murder." He mourns the decline in respect for our politics and the deterioration in the quality and tone of our political discourse, in the House of Commons as much as in the country. Now, he's chairing a meeting of the House of Commons Commission tomorrow to discuss what else needs to be done to keep our MPs and their staff and our parliamentary democracy safe. That democracy and the free society that we live in is on the political agenda. We live in a free country, yes, but one that tracks the ideology, hatred and dangers posed by a tiny minority intent on doing us harm. The government's prevent strategy at the heart of all of that has fault lines right through it and has been the subject of a major review since January. We are still waiting to hear its findings. After the murder of Joe Cox MP in 2016, a series of security recommendations were sent to each and every MP. Many found it intrusive, and not a few of them failed to act on them. But the Speaker makes clear he thinks they must think again. But perhaps his strongest criticism comes when he says, and again I quote, "The quality of political discourse has to change. The conversation has to be kinder and based on respect." And here, he isn't talking about random terrorists and street corner bullies. He's talking about those MPs themselves. Those of us of a certain age will remember that when Labour's Dennis Healey said that being attacked by the Conservative Chancellor Sir Geoffrey Howe was a little bit like being savaged by a dead sheep, he scored a point and he brought a smile. But when Labour's Angela Rayner said the Tories were racist, homophobic and misogynist and scum, there were very few smiles indeed. In the House of Commons, two lines separate the front benches, 2 swords' lengths. It's a nod to a distant past of physical violence. Well, the weapons may have changed from swords to tweets, WhatsApp gossip, briefings and late-night asides, but the need to find a better way matters, because if MPs behave badly and even brutally, it's tough for others to hold the moral high ground. So today we will be talking about security, about those who work to keep MPs and us safe, and what needs to be done to keep our democracy safe.